Good day. Coming together in love we rise. Building community online. Sharing our hearts feels mighty fine. Making each day better, one song at a time. Come on, y'all. Coming together in love we rise. Clap, clap. Building community online. Clap, clap. Sharing our hearts feels mighty fine. Clap. Making each day better. Each day better. Each day better. One song at a time. Hey, everybody. Great day. Great morning where I am. Great afternoon where you may be. Evening to some folks, wherever you happen to be in the world today. Happy journey to us all. I'm Arnaé. I am your host for this Friday morning edition of Daily Antidote of Song, which is lovingly and consistently brought to you by those beautiful folks over at Carpe Diem Arts. Give them a hand, y'all. You know them, you love them. Now it's time to show them. All right. Today is June 3rd, and here at Daily Antidote of Song, we are busting out all over into June with messages of peace and social justice in the painful midst of everything that's happening around us. I believe I counted correctly. It's day 789. I think that's what it is. And I love when those consecutive natural numbers happen. You know, I'm a numbers freak, okay? We've got a very special guest in the room today. He is going to elevate, enlighten, and entertain us all. And we will get to him after we say greetings to the Facebook Live family. Okay, y'all know the drill. To the left, up top, to the right, on the bottom. Say hi. Left, up top, to the right, on the bottom. All right. And do it to yourselves. Everybody in the room. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Wave to each other. I love it. And I always like starting with the hellos to Jojo Rossi, who wherever she may be in the world, she's the creator of this incredible program, this great series. Always thank Busy Graham. There's Anna. There's Diane. There's Aaron. There's Katie. And then today, our magically delicious Zoom guru is Jaden. Let's give Jaden a hand. Thank you for being here, Jaden. Appreciate seeing you. Okay, let's get started with the Zoomers in the room on this booming afternoon. I see JoJo. Where you come from? Okay. Good morning, JoJo, then. Good morning. Oh, okay. Hang on. So glad to see Brooke Blackburn. So glad to see Jade in our tech. So glad to see Arlene in Berkeley. So glad to see Sherry in New Hampshire. So glad to see Deborah in Kentucky. So glad to see Sheila in Florida. Kathleen's in Albuquerque. Hey, Luda in Victoria, BC. You know I love that love, girl. Thank you. Becky Kane in BC. Carolyn with the 789. Thank you for that. I love it. Cliff in Vermont, good morning. And Amanda in Miles. Amanda in Miles. Miles, I'm digging the haircut. Really am. Kate in Charlottesville. And Mabel with, I see one bear, two bears. Good morning to all of you. Ralph in Victoria. Hello. And there's Phil in Totnes. Nice to see you, Phil. Glad you're here. Jamie in Victoria and in Nashville. What you got there? Aw, flowers for me. Thank you. I receive. And my girl, Susan G. Susan G. Always happy to see you rocking the lime green. Caroline in DC. Good to see you. Kevin, Sleepful in DC. We got Annette Perone. Aloysius somewhere in the world. I see one curly top. I see two curly tops. I see three curly tops. Shake them. Shake what your mama gave you. All right. And in Maryland. And Ruth in Birmingham, UK. I've got my pinkies out for you. Jean in Pittsburgh. And Deli. Hello to you, Deli. I see Julie Alexander. And Nancy with the moo cow. And Kathy in Virginia. And there's Cricket. Hey, Cricket, good to see you. Sarah Page in Texas. And storming it up. And right in Sandy somewhere. I can't see the rest of it. And I see Papa Curly Top. Oh, and another Curly Top had just come in. I love it. Spread the love, Curly Tops. We got Jane in Texas, Brian McLaughlin, Bob in Massachusetts. Hey, Bob. LMG, Cliff in Vermont. Oh, stop moving, stop moving. Karen in Oregon, Dan in Vienna, Bronwyn in Victoria, David Roth with that guitar, Lisa in Vancouver, Bob in Albany, and there's Jane and Anna and Amos and whoever else is in the world. Susan Saint from St. Ange is coming in the world. So glad to see everybody. So glad to see everybody on Daily Antidote of Song. Okay, y'all, it's too early for me to be singing high notes. All right. If you are new to this room today, please feel free to identify yourself in the chat. Give us your first name, the city, and the country, perhaps where you're tuning in from. And also, just let us know how you found us. We want to know. And the main thing is keep coming back. Alrighty then. It's day 789. And in the realm of angel number 789 signifies letting go of expectations to follow the voice of your soul. And soul is indeed one of the signature musical styles of our guest today. He is an incredible singer, songwriter, and exceptional instrumentalist. Let's put him on the screen. Guitar is his main axe. You'll see all this eye candy stuff that I love to see. He is deeply rooted in soul, in blues, in R&B, in funk music. He's got a fascinating family history, which I am so excited to learn more about. Yeah, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself. You still need to unmute yourself, Brooke. Yes. His family name in and of itself traces a remarkable link between 19th century Black American history and Toronto music history. He is coming to us from the beautiful capital city of Ontario, where the trees are standing in the water, from Toronto. He's new to the room. Everybody, give him an extra special welcome. Put your hands up and together for the incredible Brooke Blackburn. Good day.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Okay, good, good, good.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm very good. Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right. Well, happy you're here. Welcome to Daily Antidote of Song. Happy to be here with you. Tell us the song that you have chosen to share today.
The song's called The Postman's Opus. It's a song I wrote about the first black postman in Toronto back in 1882, possibly, most likely the first black postman in Canada. And his family came up from Delaware through the Underground Railroad. And his mother, he came to Toronto when he was just one. And his mother carried seven kids, basically, from Delaware through the Underground Railroad up to Toronto. And he actually they stayed with a gentleman and his wife called Thornton and Lucy Blackburn. And I don't know if they're related to me. I don't know the history of that, but both the Thornton and Lucy came from Kentucky, and that's where my family came up from. So, but it was a different last name of my family.
Okay, so we're gonna get into your family. I just want to know about the song. Tell us the name of the postman. Tell us his name again.
Albert Jackson.
Albert Jackson.
And there
And
was very prominent singers in Toronto called Sean and Jay Jackson, and they're actually, I guess, the great grandchildren of yeah. It's kind of cool because I wrote the song and we presented it to the family, and man, people look familiar. And I ran into my friends. I've known Jay and Sean since I was a kid because my father is a musician,
we'll
and he
talk
grew
about
up
him
with them.
later.
Yeah, yeah, he grew up with them, so it's kind of cool that I had to connect. And you
Okay,
know,
so what's our part on the song? What part can you teach us that we can sing along? We'll be on mute, but we'll be hearing you.
yeah, it's like it's the chorus. There's two parts of the chorus. Like, please let us show you the way, and let us sing today. is the time for all to be free. That's the first part. So please let us show you the way, and let us sing today. You can sing that. The last part, I get really high. I can do that myself. You guys don't have to get high this early in the morning vocally.
You want to get high in the morning? Let us
Yeah,
get high in the morning
vocally.
too.
See, I put vocally in there, right? But anyways, if you want to, that's cool. And then the ending part, and it goes, thank you, Mr. Jackson. Show us the way. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Show us the way. Then I go, take us along. And you all go, show us the way. Take us along. Show us the way. Basically, I'm talking about his where he worked, and he worked from basically the northern part of downtown, which is Bloor Street. If anybody's been to Toronto, maybe a BC people have been in Toronto. It's Bloor Street is like the top of the downtown core in Toronto. He worked from there and a little bit south. So
Okay, fantastic. I think we got our part. Take it
yeah.
away.
So you want me to sing the whole song?
Yeah, we want you to do the whole song.
Okay, and then you guys gonna come in on your part. Okay, all right.
Let us know when it's our turn. Just give us a. Okay,
Yep.
come on. All right, thank you.
Now is the time to celebrate. All that you have done, let us to be free. Here is the place for us to share memories of you walk into time. Here's the chorus coming up now. Please let us show you the way. And let us sing today. Oh yeah. Now is the time for all to be free. Last verse. Thank you, my friend, for all you've done. There will be now a street in your name. All right, chorus. I said, please let us show you the way. Yeah, and let us sing today. And let us sing today. Now is the time for all to be free. Now is the time for all to be free, Lord. This is my part now. Take us along, your route for all to see. Yeah, all right, now thank you, Mr. Jackson. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Show us the way. Show us the way. All right, now. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Show us the way. Show us the way. Take us along. Show us the way. Show us the way. Take us along. Show us the way. Show us the way. Show us the way. Show us the way.
Ooh, everybody, show us the way.
Show us
Hey,
the way.
way. That's a vibe, baby. I like that.
Thank you.
All right, all right. Everybody, let's take a breath on that. Welcome into the room, Brooke Blackburn. I spent years ago in Toronto. That's when it was called T Dot. You remember that?
T-Dot. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so are you 416 or 647?
Man, you know everything. You know everything. Yeah, yeah. It's so knowledgeable. Yes, 416.
Okay.
416. You
Well,
know, actually, I'm 647, but I'm in the 416.
okay. All
My
right.
phone is actually 647, but I'm in the 416. We call the 416, which is right downtown. I'm right downtown Toronto. But 647 is also a downtown area code. But yeah, 416 basically. If take it back, I've been here 58 years, so yeah, yeah.
That's an incredible song. When did you first hear about Albert Jackson?
I was doing a gig downtown. If you remember, the downtown is like the southern part of downtown is like King Street, Queen Street, and by where the Eaton Center is just south of that. And I was in there playing. And there's a jazz club called Nolan's Jazz Bar, and a friend of mine is an actor, and he came down and said, "Listen, Brooke, we're doing a series. We're doing a play that's sponsored by the Pan Am Games about a gentleman by the Albert Jackson." I didn't know anything about Albert, and he came and told me this story. Then I researched him and then found out about him, and then realized that he was a postman, and he got the gig initially because he was a very literate gentleman, and he wrote the test and got, I think, one of the highest marks on the test, kind of an entrance exam kind of thing. And then when he came in, they realized he was black and they wouldn't give him the job. They said, you can clean, you can be the cleaner, but you can't be a postman. A postman at that time was a big job. You know, we're talking about 1882. So his brother was a barber, and he had a lot of political affiliations. So a lot of politics used to come to his place and get their haircut. And it got up to the Sir John A. Macdonald, who was running for prime minister his second term, and he ended up pushing the solicitor, the postmaster general, into giving his job. And yeah, he was supported by the postmaster. He was supported by everybody. So he ended up doing his job, I think, for like 30 some odd years. Never missed a day. Yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
Incredible. And you memorialized him in song and then took it to his descendants. That's super
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, it's funny because about 3 weeks ago, I was in Scarborough, which is the east end of Toronto, and the biggest processing plant is now called Albert Jackson Processing Plant, and they're just building it, and they're honoring him. They made a stamp for him, a national stamp for him too. So yeah, he's got a lot of acclaim, and so he should have,
Wow. That's incredible. Well, I'm just
Trailblazer.
thank you for making us aware of him. I'm a history fan. And
Cool.
speaking of history, the roots of your family history run
Mm-hmm.
really deep. And I think the central theme that I found is about freedom, being free to be and being
Mm-hmm.
free to be free in your creative expression. So let's start off
Mm-hmm.
with your great, great, great grandfather. Was that
Yeah,
Earl?
he lived in he lived in Kentucky, Elias Earls. Okay, so he was a slave in Kentucky, and
Enslaved.
he
Enslaved. He wasn't enslaved. He was enslaved.
enslaved. Yeah, yeah. All right, all right.
Yep.
He was enslaved exactly. He was enslaved. He wasn't a slave in his mind. Definitely not. Definitely not. So he was enslaved in Kentucky, and he came up through the Underground Railroad, all the way up from Kentucky through Maine, through all these different areas. Then came in, I believe, I guess around Detroit. Came across the border around Detroit, and then came across. And there was many different black communities at that time when he came up, all the way through from Detroit, Windsor, Chatham, Buxton, all these areas. But he went as far north as a place called Owen Sound, Ontario. And we have there's a 160th year Emancipation Festival in Owen Sound this year. 160 years.
Okay, I need to take a breath on that because we've
Mm-hmm.
heard these stories about the Underground Railroad, but to
Mm-hmm.
know the people that actually made it through. I mean, this gentleman
Mm-hmm.
brought himself out of enslavement in,
Mm-hmm.
was it the northern terminus of the
Yes, the most northern terminus. Yeah.
wow. And so have you visited that area?
Where I've been to Kentucky,
Mhm.
and I play with Kentucky with a beautiful singer called Shakur Saida, very one of my most closest friends. And anyways, we went down there, and then I actually sang the song. And I kind of sang this song, or a song called "Talk." It could have been one "Talk to Me," which is about my family. I might have sang that, but it was I told the story, and it's a very surreal moment being in Kentucky from Toronto, and being around this circle of musicians and telling my story, being an enslaved, my great grandfather was enslaved in Kentucky. It's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. And
Mm.
that, but Owen Sound is where I've been going since I was a baby, every year since I was a baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. Okay, I think we're ready to talk about your father, the
Mm-hmm.
legendary rhythm and blues ambassador from Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Dean Blackburn. Tell us about him.
He started playing blues since, or R&B and soul music since nine. I put soul. I put all music that black music in a category of soul music
That's
because
right.
it comes from the soul. So I call it soul music. And he since 1955, he opened the original Blue Note in Toronto in 1959, I think. So his band was like one of the first bands in Toronto. Most people that I know that came up to me through the ages have said, your father was the first rock and roll band I've ever seen. So when I'm back in those days, when you're talking rock and roll, you're not talking about the heavy rock. You're talking about Fats Domino, Little Richard, which basically, and then begat like people like James Brown came later and kind of thing. So that my father always played that kind of music. A
Louis
lot of
Jordan.
really
Yeah, Louis Jordan, that jump blues, because that's he's
Louis Jordan, yeah, that was before my dad. Louis Jordan was a little bit kind of like the 40s,
yeah.
40s and 50s. My dad started when he was 55. So in 1955, I should say, he was 15. So he grew up, my grandfather loved Louis Jordan. It's Saturday Night Fish Fry and all those tunes, definitely. But and he also loved T-Bone Walker was big back then. He started like that R&B. T-Bone started like he added the 3 back to 2, 5, 1 in the blues, other than just going from 1 to 4, back to 1 to 5, 4, 1, and he added the 2, and that kind of begat rhythm and blues.
That's right.
Throw all these changes in there, throw all these different things in there. It's kind of cool. So yeah, T-Bone Walker and there's another gentleman that I can see his face, but my grandfather was really into, but definitely Louis Jordan. I mean, everybody loves Louis Jordan.
Got that jump blues. And so your dad, he's a pianist, correct?
He's a piano. He's a pianist. He's more of an organ player. He's a B3 organ player, Hammond.
With the Leslie baby? With the Leslie?
Two, 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 one on either side. And my brother, my baby brother, not my baby brother, next to me, he's an organ player. He took over where my dad kind of, still my dad doing his thing. And, I'm doing an album for him right now, but he's 81 right
And still going strong. So
now.
I heard an interview where you recounted a story of your dad returning home from tour and the
Mm-hmm.
response that he would get in the neighborhood. Can you share that story with us, please?
Oh, yeah. That's funny because my father, probably to not to the happiness of my mother, would come back from the road in a new Cadillac all the time. Okay, and my mother wants him to come home with money, not with a new car. So he drive into this town where we live in this new Cadillac, and all the kids, usually he's got this convertible happening, and all the kids would run by his car and greet him. Here comes Bobby Dean. It's like, oh man, and my mom was like, "What's going on, man? Got to pay the mortgage."
He would stop off in Detroit and then drive his way up. Is that how?
Yeah. No. Anyway, wherever he went, he always seemed to always come home with a new Cadillac. So,
So
but
what?
we're talking about in the mid 60s. So.
Okay. Because I'm wondering, those are classic Cadillacs. Are they still in the family or?
No, no, no,
Ooh, that would be something.
no. He had a pink Cadillac Eldorado that got stolen, Eldorado convertible. He had a Coupe de Ville, a Sedan de Ville. He's had so many Cadillacs, but no.
Wait a minute.
The prices of gas right now, you can't drive one of those cars.
But hold up. How you gonna steal a pink Cadillac? How you gonna steal a pink?
Yeah,
Everybody's gonna see it.
I know that pink Cadillac. Well, I don't know how he did, but he got it stolen, and I don't know.
They had
My
to.
dad's a big dude. He's like 200, and he was about 250, 260 back then, but he didn't get it stolen off of him directly. I guarantee you that.
Okay.
It
Okay.
definitely, he left it somewhere. He probably was on the road somewhere, and yeah. I think they found it at a smash up derby, you know, like with cars and they smash each other. Yeah, because they were very solid, very solid cars.
Well, going back to the theme of freedom that underlies your family history, your home, in a sense, became a sanctuary and haven for musicians who were
Yeah,
coming to Canada after saying, hell no, we won't go fight in Vietnam.
Vietnam. Yeah, yeah,
Tell us about that.
yeah. Well, it's funny, and that's how being a musician was like. It was amazing because John T. Davis, who just passed away, stayed at our house. The guy who taught me guitar, Gary Martin, is actually from Chicago. He stayed at our house, and I think he did a tour in Vietnam, and then just had enough, you know. And he came back, and he taught me guitar. I don't know if you ever heard of Hubert Sumlin. Hubert Sumlin he plays with Howlin' Wolf. He was a Howlin' Wolf's guitar player for a long, long time. That's his uncle. And so he taught me a lot about changes and the blues and R&B because he was really into George Benson at that time. So it was all like he was into George Benson. I love George Benson. He actually had a George Benson model guitar, you know, that he found, and I was really into Benson at that. And that was the time of guitar making really mark in instrumental music. And yeah, so he taught me a lot. It's funny because about 30 years later, I'm in maybe not 30 years, maybe like 25 years later. I'm in Calgary playing Calgary, Alberta, and I started playing and playing with Shakura, and I'm playing. I forget what tune we're just playing, but I hear this guy come. We finished the song and said, "Man, I really like your chords, man. I like the way you're playing your chords." I said, "Oh, thanks, man." He says, "I used to play with your old man. I used to play with your dad." And I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah, my name's Gary." I said, "Gary? I haven't seen this guy in 25 years." And he said, I said, "Not Gary, Gary." He said, "Yeah, it's me, man." And he taught me how to play guitar at a young age. You know?
Wow. And he was
Yeah.
able to see how you grew and developed.
Yeah, it was cool. And then we went to a jam the next day and we jammed together. And I told everybody outstage, I said, "Everybody get up," because he had a full band. I said, "Please, can you let me play with just Gary, me and Gary?" You know, after all this. And we did Georgia by Ray Charles and
Wow.
written by, yeah, Georgia.
Incredible,
Yeah.
incredible. I'm curious because music was so much around you and such a part of your family.
Mm,
Was it an easy choice for you to make? Just speaking personally, I came from a very musical family.
mm,
It was mandatory that we had to play, we had to
mm,
sing, we had to perform, and I chose another path, which
mm.
ultimately led me back to music. What was your journey like? Were there other things that you were interested in?
I'm also interested in history. Never really studied it. Just keep on preaching the history of Black history in Canada to people who want to listen to me play. But I never really. I mean, we did every other job. I lived in a neighborhood that it was a lot of factories. So I worked and worked and worked since I was 15, 14, 13. Used to work for the city of Mississauga. So I've done a lot of things, but in my family, I have a brother plays keys, I have a brother plays drums, I have a brother plays saxophone and guitar and piano, and myself. And you know, so the whole family is, and having a very strong personality like my father in the house, it kind of like we kind of went that path. But I think we all do other things. My brother is a studio engineer. I have a studio here, which I've been recording through COVID a lot of songs, and so kind of like just different branches off of the music, like yourself, you know, branches.
But music kind of stayed at the root of all of it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the COVID lockdown. What were
Mm.
you doing, and what new things did you discover about yourself during the
That's
pandemic?
funny because I never did like this right now. Never in my life. You know, I'm not that savvy tech cat. You know, I never did that. So I recorded. I did a lot more recording here, and I it's behind me. I don't know if you can see. I have my piano, so I played piano on all my parts. Up there is my bass. I played bass on all my parts. Play about six different guitar parts that when I send the song to the producer, you say, "Man, could you like limit the amount of guitar parts you're putting on this track?"
Can't help yourself.
So,
Can't help yourself.
yeah, and then I did all my DJs too. I did all my backgrounds, so it's like I'm doing 3 or 4 part harmony and then doubling that. You know, so you got to, you can either sit around and do nothing or sit around and be creative. And to be honest with you, for me, if I wasn't writing and being creative, I don't know what would happen in my mind, to be honest with you. I really needed that. And I was working all the time to the point that I'd send songs to my producer and he'd be pissed off. Oops, good, sorry. But anyway, to the point that I'm sending him too much music. It's like, man, give me a break. And I'm like, I'm writing, man. I'm writing constantly and recording and staying up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you know what I mean? Or 5. But he's a late night cat too. So it was like, okay, I can send him stuff late at night and it was good. I'd send all the time. Then I do projects with my friends, like I do with my father right now. And Shakur, with like last 2 weeks ago, was in here doing some background vocals on one of her tunes.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
cool.
Okay, one of these days, bro, I'm getting ready to get in trouble with you because
Mm,
we could talk for a long time. Before we wrap up, let's talk
mm,
about the Grand River Blues Society
mm,
2023 International Blues Challenge that's happening in Memphis. What is that
mm.
all about and how are you involved?
Yeah, they asked me to come and audition for a challenge that they have to go down to the IBC's the International Blues Challenge in Memphis. And that's cool. And one thing I said, okay, I'll come down. So it was in Kitchener, which is west of Toronto. And I said went down and I sat down there and I played and I did a Postman's Opus, Hey Mr. Man, another one about Black history and a couple other songs that I read about 20 minutes and they dug it and they asked me to represent them down in Memphis. So I'm going to be down there doing the single duo section just with this or my other guitar, Martin. I don't know which one I'm going to bring, but I went down there before with my brothers, so we had a good time. We had a write up from Rolling Stone magazine, so we're very fortunate. Yeah.
Fantastic. Any upcoming events? I know your brothers, the band of brothers is called Blackburn.
Blackburn Brothers.
Black,
Blackburn Brothers.
Blackburn
It used to
Brothers.
be called Blackburn. Now it's called Blackburn Brothers. So you're so good. You're so good. You're amazing. You really get all those details.
Come on, I'm a reader. Anything coming up that we can support you with? Or is it
Well, we're doing a lot of festivals. We're doing tomorrow. We're doing the Orangeville Jazz and Blues Festival, which is a little bit west of Toronto. Then we're doing the Kitchener Blues Festival in August, and then we're doing the Calgary Blues Festival in I think July 30th. So all these festivals, you can check and see if they're streaming if you want to see us live, and you can see a lot of stuff that we have on YouTube. There's some live performances there because we're live players. Okay, I play this guitar, my brother plays his keys, and my brother plays drums. We got a 6-piece band, 2 horns, trombone and saxophone, bass and drums. So we're live players. I've been playing live since I was 15. Playing in a reggae band when I started when I was 15. So I'm a live cat. I press record, but I'm a live cat.
all right? So we'll find your music on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram. Are
Mhm.
you all on social media? YouTube.
I am. Blackburn Brothers is also Blackburn Brothers Music, and at the Bentley Collective. My solo project that I write is the Bentley Collective, and song like Postman's Opus, Hey Mr. Man. I wrote a song called Sister Wilma about a woman from Niagara that documented a lot of the people that came through the Niagara River through the Underground Railroad and fought for a church they're going to tear down, and she stopped it from a black church and kept it. So yeah, it's so I write a lot, and I'm writing a song about oh sorry about that. Oh man, I'm writing more Black history right now.
Okay.
Harriet Tubman. I'm writing a song about Harriet Tubman. And
We
everybody out there, I want you to know that Harriet lived in St. Catharines at one point, St. Catharines, Ontario, when she came up, and I think it was after she did her thing, but she stayed there for about a few years. And there's a church called the Salem Church that she went to, and they tried to tear that down too. And they kept that going and refurbished that. So Harriet Tubman, and you all know Harriet Tubman. She
oh,
brought enslaved people out for freedom,
Black
and brought
Moses,
some of
baby.
them to Toronto.
Black Moses. Amita was
Black
her.
Moses, that's right, that's right.
Okay, so we're looking for music for Brooke Blackburn, the group Blackburn, and Bobby Dean Blackburn.
Yeah.
Just go and support all that music. Brooke, can we have just the last chorus and then the tag, the song again?
Please let us And let us sing today. Now is the time for all to be free. Take us along, your roof for all to see. Oh yeah, thank you, Mr. Jackson. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Show us the way. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Show us the way. Take us along. Show us the way. Show us the way. Show us the way. Take us along. Show us the way. Show us the way. Show us the way.
Ooh, all right.
And he did show us the way. He's a trailblazer, so I
And
appreciate
you
it.
are and you are continuing that path. So we are so grateful to you. Thank you, Brooke Blackburn. We got to get high with you this morning.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And from Toronto, I'm saying love and peace. And we'll see y'all later, another time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your time, your incredible talents, your
Thank
memories, your family history, and your incredible heart and spirit. We're very grateful.
you.
Definitely
Thank
will be connecting with you again. And no, I haven't spoken with Shakura about you, but I certainly will.
you. Okay, all right. I'm her friend. You know, hopefully she says good things about me.
We're gonna find out. All right,
Yeah,
everybody, take a breath.
yeah.
Let's take a breath. That felt good. Oh, yeah, that felt good all over. Let's breathe it in. Okay, a quick announcement before we wrap up. Oh, I'm really going to get in trouble. Carpe Diem Arts is having an Invest in Creativity fundraiser. It's going on right now. Jaden is going to magically pop it into the chat. Thank you for that. Before we say our final goodbyes, let me again extend an invitation to any new people in the room to please feel free to put your name, where you are tuning in from, the city and the country, and how you found Daily Antidote of Song. And one of these days, you'll be getting a very special welcome from the creator of Daily Antidote of Song, Jojo Rossi. Okay, let me say goodbye to the Facebook Live family. Say bye. See you later.